Good day. My name is Dr. Niama Leslie Joanne Williams, and I am here to introduce myself and my company, Blowing Up Barriers Enterprises. We are here in Long Beach, California, in the United States of America, and Blowing Up Barriers exists for several reasons. I'd like to start by telling you what is closest and most dear to my heart. I am a woman who strongly believes that supporting the indigent and supporting those who serve and assist the indigent is the best and most effective way to address social ills, not just in the United States, but also in the rest of the world. If we support our social workers, our case managers, our nurse practitioners, our psychiatrists and psychologists, if we support the people who assist the indigent, those who work at the churches feeding, those who work at the drop-in center that we have here in Long Beach, California, those who man the bathrooms at the transit mall so that people can go to the bathroom until 2 in the morning. If we support those people and if we support the indigent themselves, those who are low income, no income, long-term unemployed, mentally ill, all of those categories, if we support them and we support those who support them, we will absolutely address social ills of homelessness, poverty, crime, no options, no hope, no chance. We will address all of that, starting right here in Long Beach, California, and expanding to the nation, then the world. I too suffered my own journey of homelessness. And let me tell you a little bit about that. I am a resident currently of Long Beach, but I grew up in Los Angeles, California, in a small little community on the edge of Inglewood called Morningside Park. I grew up middle class, not well to do, but comfortable. You know, we got by. We had our times of pinto beans on the stove, but my grandmother was an excellent cook from the South, just like my mother was, and we got through. We made it. Grandma made sure we did fine. So I grew up with the expectation of college. I have a bachelor's degree in comparative literature with a specialization in Latin American literature from Occidental College. I have a master's in professional writing from the University of Southern California, and I have a master's and a doctorate in African American literature from Temple University. So I should never ended up homeless, right? Well, life happens to all of us. And I ended up unable to find a job after I finished my doctorate for reasons I won't go into here. Read the journey and you'll get the full story. That's my first memoir. But I wasn't able to find a job. I ended up losing my apartment in Philadelphia and I moved in with a friend. I ended up falling in love with that friend. He ended up falling in love with me. And we had a 4-year relationship. We lived together, we shared space. We didn't have sex, but we lived together, shared space, doted on each other. And then at the end of that 4 years, he decided he wanted to go back to being a minister and that he could not do that with this young, vibrant 40-year-old woman living in his apartment. So we split ways and parted ways, I should say. And I had no job, no income, no savings, no place to live, no income. And I scrambled. I went to a shelter. Um, I was treated okay at the shelter, but I went to a shelter. That was the first of many shelters and much transitional housing. At a certain point in that journey, I decided I wanted to come back to California. And my niece said, Auntie, come to Long Beach. Don't go back to LA. So I came to Long Beach. I was surprised at how wonderfully the homeless are treated here in Long Beach, which is why I'm dedicating a series of workshops, starting with the professionals who assisted me when I came to Long Beach and eventually helped me get housed. Homeless Innovations Project, I will love you until I die. At any rate, I say all of that to say that my company, Blowing Up Barriers Enterprises, has several things that it wants to accomplish. Number one, we want to support the professionals who assist the indigent and the indigent themselves. We have several things on our list of items to cover. Let me just get this for a minute. We want to sell our books, which deal with recovery from trauma. I grew up in a deceptively abusive home, and I write poetry, personal essay, and memoir about coming through that experience, surmounting that experience, and achieving all of the things I've achieved despite that experience and living with a food addiction. So I want to sell my books because I really believe they can help those who are not only indigent and supporting the indigent, but anyone who is recovering from trauma. I want to place those books, and I have 13 titles on lulu.com. I self published. I have 13 books on recovering from trauma, including my dissertation on the work of Toy Derricott, who is also a survivor of childhood trauma. I want to sell my books, which are really for anyone who is surviving childhood trauma. I want to employ the indigent, the long-term unemployed, the mentally ill as a sales and street team, because who better than the homeless, the indigent, the traumatized, the mentally ill to sell books on recovering from trauma. It is my hope and prayer that they will read my books, be moved by my books, and then become an effective sales and street team to let others in their communities know about my books. And I'm hoping they can do it without having to radically change themselves, without having to get a whole new wardrobe. I'm really hoping they can do this as they are and use it as a way to get out of homelessness, to rise above the social ills that so many of us are dealing with. So I want to sell my books. I want to place them in homeless shelters, mental health units, hospitals, transitional housing, welfare offices, county offices, the multi-service center here in Long Beach, which exists to help the homeless. I want to place my books in treatment centers, in psychologists' offices, in psychiatrists' offices, so that when you go to a new therapist or a new psychiatrist and you don't know how to talk about your story yet, you can talk about my story and use that as an avenue to get into talking about your story and come that much closer to your own healing. So I want to sell my books. I want to employ those who are suffering to sell my books. I want to open an intuitive counseling practice so that once I have licensure, I can help treat those who are suffering the after effects of trauma. And one more peek. I want to offer my books, my workshops, and my intuitive counseling services to those who are not just indigent or not just serving or supporting the indigent, but anyone who is recovering from trauma. Those are all the things that I want my company to do. And I would like to invite you to join us on this journey. You can come to my Facebook fan page, Dr. Niama Williams Intuitive Counseling. You can find out about More Stories Monday. You can find out about Two Tip Tuesday, Wise Women Wednesday. Thursday is for Thor when I speak to the men on my list. Free Phone Friday with Dr. Nee. These are all of the activities that I'm starting this week on my Facebook fan page. You can go to about.me/Dr. Nee and find out all of my activities, particularly the upcoming workshops in July of this year, July of 2014. And I really just invite you to go to about.me/Dr. Nee and find out what I'm doing. Find out what my goals and dreams and ambitions are. Find out about the workshops for professionals, clients, and the public that I'm hosting in July. Really come along and learn what the journey of Dr. Nee and Blowing Up Barriers is. Why? Because dreams deserve to be lived. And I exist, my company exists, to assist those of you who have a dream of the life you'd like to live, but you can't quite seem to get in it. I want to help you not only dream of that life, but actually live that life. Actually take the steps to place yourself in that life. That is the biggest dream that I have for my company and for myself. I thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you will join us at Dr. Niama Williams Intuitive Counselor, that you will look me up on about.me/Dr. Nee, find out what I'm involved in, find out where my books are, maybe purchase a book or two. Join us on this journey, because it's not just a journey for me. It's not just a journey for my company. It's also a journey for you, the dreamer, so that you can actively live the life of which you dream. Why? As I said before, because dreams deserve to be lived. Thank you so much. And join us on About Me, Dr. Nee. Take very good care. Love you all. Bye bye.